What's going on, y'all? So, how y'all doing? Oh, I just feel so discombobulated. Don't mind the little white streams that you see. Don't worry about it. But let me tell y'all what fucking happened. So, because I know I like been off Twitter and all this stuff for a minute, I just ain't feel my I haven't been feeling like myself. Let me tell y'all the mess that happened. First of all, I hope y'all had a good week so far. Happy President's Day, happy Lincoln's birthday. One of them days coming up Monday and Friday. So I got the days off. So hey, 4-day weekend. But bitch, let me tell y'all what fucking happened to me. I was at work Tuesday, okay? I was fine. I did feel a little kind of weird or something the night before, but I paid it no mind. All the anticipation about, I was like, okay, Tuesday, y'all know. Tuesday was Beyonce Day, trying to get these tickets for the Formation Tour. I'll talk about that in a second. And all this stuff. Child, I don't know if it was the hoopla of that or some other shit that was going on, but a bitch had an anxiety attack, okay, at work. Listen, no, I don't know what it was, and it probably was on its way coming. I don't know, but I have recently went to the doctor and he did prescribe me some anxiety pills. He was like, "So what's going on?" and all this stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I didn't really think I needed it until Tuesday. All right, I'm doing my work, and I was fine when I first got there. I'm doing my work, and all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, am I having heart palpitations and stuff like that? Palpitations and shit. I said, what is going on? All of a sudden, I'm start shaking, and I'm like, oh Lord, am I feeling dizzy? Every time I try to take a step or whatever, it felt like my heart was racing. I said, a bitch is not about to kill over right now. Not when I am trying to get my life right with God right about now, okay? I done switched up every damn thing. I'm losing weight and all this shit, eating good, eating right. You will not take me today. Okay, that's how I felt, child. That's how I felt. And let me tell you something. I told y'all once before, I do I be paranoid about stuff. I take a little stuff and just blow it up because I keep overthinking about it and all this stuff. Anxiety. Bitch, I told them, listen, you gonna have to call the ambulance because I don't know what's going on and all this stuff. So when you tell your coworkers and stuff that, they get all excited like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? I appreciate that because, you know, I just didn't know what was going on. I get in the backseat of the ambulance. First of all, they come in and he was like, your post and everything is fine. What's going on? I said, it may be fine, but something just ain't right. You know your body when something ain't right. I go into the backseat of that ambulance, bitch, and I was well enough to walk. And that was the thing. It came out of nowhere. I haven't had what I did have a headache when I woke up. And I was feeling a little bit nauseous. And I had took some little, headache pills or whatever. And the doctor told me the headache pills could have probably had some caffeine in it. And I have not been on caffeine in months. So I think I didn't flush that shit out my system, okay? And I don't know if it was a reaction to that just made it happen or whatever, or I was literally having an attack right then and there. Girl, I was in the back seat of that ambulance, right? And I was scared. I was scared. First of all, I was scared because I was by myself. I'm like, Mama, bring your ass. When you get it, when shit happens, you watch your mama and all that stuff. That's me, okay? That is me. I don't care. I would say that to my grown ass wanted my motherfucking mama, okay? That's what I wanted, all right? So they was taking, what was going on and all that stuff. And then the paramedics, the lady, she was back there. She was just talking to me and all this stuff. And she was like, you just need to calm down a little bit and all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure nothing's wrong with you. If something was wrong, we would have had you hooked up. We would have synced it or whatever. You probably just having a little anxiety attack. The little palpitations just come in and go and you just don't know what it is. She was like, and I'm telling you this from experience because I had experienced the same thing and it was going on for 3 years before they caught it because every time I would say, something was going on, it wouldn't happen when I'm telling them. So finally it happened when I was at work and it just wouldn't stop and therefore they caught what was going on. And she's been fine ever since. So I needed that little pep talk, bitch. I was in the backseat of that ambulance crying. She was like, you crying because you don't know? Yeah, bitch, I don't know what's going on. But shout out to them because y'all did a good job. Took them to the hospital and they did some tests and bitch, all my tests came back normal. Like my everything came back normal. Okay. And the only thing, so they had me in the ER or whatever for a couple of hours or whatever. And then they was like, well, we can admit you to run some more tests so we can get to the bottom of what's really, really going on and to make sure, rule out every other thing. And I was like, I would rather you do that than me to go home and this episode happens again and scare the life out of me again. And so that's basically what happened. That's why I didn't, upload the haves and the have-nots or whatever when I originally had it. Bitch, I didn't even know that the hospital had the damn channel. I had turned to it. I said, wait a minute. Y'all got the channel? And I was looking at it. I saw it at the hospital too, but it is what it is. But so basically they ran a whole bunch of tests, did a whole bunch of blood work. All my blood work came back negative for anything. My tests, EKGs and all that stuff, normal functioning heart and all that shit. So that wasn't the problem. The next one they had did an echo on me when they, do an ultrasound of your heart and stuff. They did that and it was a normal heart. Nothing was wrong with my heart. They was like, it was functioning. The doctor was like, it looks beautiful. I was like, okay, girl. And of course I was up there trying. They was like, so I noticed that you said you've been losing weight. I said, girl, yes. Cause listen, I lost 4 more pounds since last Wednesday. That's 35 altogether. Probably lost some more. And then they was like, so what you been doing, girl? So I'm up there giving my little regimen. They like, for real? Okay, because I'm going to have to, where you get your bottle from and all this stuff. The detox bottle, because I know a lot of people been asking me. Go to thedetoxbottle.com. One whole word. And they up there. I think it's like $15.97. It's a little sale going on right now. If you want to get it, thedetoxbottle.com. Everything, okay? You put your fruits in there and it'll curb your intake for sugar, because you got your natural sugar coming in from the fruit and it's going into the water, so you getting whatever the little sugar that you're trying to fiend for the day or whatever is coming out into the water. Plus you're getting your daily water intake too. So it is what it is. So that was basically it. The doctor basically was like, girl, you might just have had an anxiety attack. And I was like, well, that's what it seems like. Okay, so I'm on meds, anxiety. I'm like, ain't this about a bitch? Let me find out. Beyonce done put me in a goddamn hospital. She's about to pay my medical bills. No, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. But that was what happened to me. And I'm just like, I'm just glad. Because, it is Heart Month. What is it? Heart Awareness Month, February, along with Black History. Shout out to the fact, one of the Black History Month notable, Cab Calloway. That's what I put up. If y'all don't know about Mr. Cab Calloway, come on. That motherfucker was the entertainer of all entertainers, for one. He reminds me of a more jazzy, energetic, is it the Harvey Brothers? The brothers that used to do the dances, they be doing the splits on the steps and stuff like that. I fucking love that shit. If you don't know who I'm talking about, like, look up Cab Calloway, or better yet, look up Janet Jackson's Alright video, because she had all the legends up in that video. Cab Calloway, the brothers that I just mentioned, and I think this lady, I can't remember her name right now, I'm drawing a blank, but she had all of them. And I love when people take and do videos like that or music like that and they pay homage to the legends of the past, the people that paved the way for them, who made it cool and who broke barriers. Listen, let me stop. This is Black History Month. I am like gushing over that. I love stuff like that. But anyway, what was I saying before that? I don't remember. Somebody gonna write in the comments like, girl, you were saying this, but the video is over with already, so it don't make no difference. But yeah, go get your heart checked out or whatever. That's what I was saying. It's heart awareness, especially if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get on a healthier path or whatever. Make sure it's always important that you go to your doctor and let them know what's going on, especially if you're bigger and all that stuff, so that you can know exactly what it is and how much you can do. So you won't fuck around and just kill over trying to lose weight or whatever the fuck you're doing. Don't be out here taking these diet supplements and whatever. Try to do that shit naturally first, all right? And if you do go on some supplements, talk to your doctor first, okay? Because, I don't do that shit. But that was just what happened to me. I had to share my little experience every time I do a video. Y'all like, damn, bitch, I know. But at least I'm taking care of myself. You know, at least everything else is fine. Oh, yeah, they did say I was slightly anemic. And I was not surprised because my mama and my sister is. And I'm just sitting here like, well, okay, give me some iron pills and I'm good. You know, so other than that, I'm great, y'all. Y'all like, damn, every time you come back on here with a motherfucking story like this, bitch, take care of yourself. I am, y'all. I am. Don't come down on me, okay? I am. Okay, so let's move on into some other shit or stuff. Speaking of Beyonce, the Formation Tour. All right, you know she announced that the tour was gonna happen in 2016, right after the Super Bowl. That shit came up. First of all, let me get on this because people irk me. People irk me so bad. So fucking bad. And it's not just because it's Beyonce. It's like white people, and I'm gonna put it out there. It's just like white people just realized that Beyonce was black and that she could possibly be concerned about, you know, the things that's going on within the African American community, regardless of if she grew up in the hood or in a middle class family or whatever. Skin color knows no poverty level. Okay? Skin color knows none of that shit. Alright? That bitch can be put. Well, let me stop. Yeah, she can experience. Let me shut up. Yeah, she can experience racial discrimination and all that stuff, but that's not the point. The point is all of this hate. You know, all of a sudden there's an anti Beyonce rally that's about to happen or is supposed to be happening, whatever the fuck. People protesting, talking about or trying to say that they're gonna boycott going to the Formation Tour. Bitch, we don't give a fuck. Okay, you leave it open for us to get them good seats. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. But my thing of it is, how are you upset? And it was just irking me when I was looking on Twitter and all these news people coming out, especially that bitch, that what's her name? Tommy, whatever, the white girl, talking about some, you want to talk about stop killing us and being anti-cop when you was married to a drug dealer for 14. You married to a drug dealer who was a Jay-Z was a drug dealer and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, everybody got shit in their past, but what the fuck? What they got to do with the message that she was putting out? The message that she was putting out was stop killing us, meaning stop the police brutality. She wasn't saying that all, she was not anti-cop. I did not get anti-cop from that video. I did not get anti-cop. So everybody that say stop killing us is anti-cop. No, we are not. Okay, let's not act dumb and act like, you know, there aren't bad cops out there. Let's not act like there aren't good cops. But there are bad cops. And in the African American community and Latino community or whatever, there have been many cases where innocent black folks have been getting shot and killed for no fucking reason. That is what she was talking about. Stop fucking killing us. Okay? Stop doing this shit for no fucking reason. And how dare you get up on your soapbox and want to call racist. And then all of a sudden, you got white bitches on Twitter. I'm sorry because that's what it was. White people on Twitter trying to say that Super Bowl, she was racist because there was no white people, no white dancers in her thing. Okay, so was Justin Bieber racist when he came out with that Sorry song and he had the video up there dancing to a Caribbean reggae beat with all white dancers? Was he racist? No, he wasn't. Did we cry that? I mean, it was a little controversy, just a little bit, but did we give a damn? Hell no. So let a black woman put all black women, you know, talking about black power and all this stuff and, you know, celebrating a black woman and coming together. And mind you, the reason why she did the whole Black Panther thing, because that Sunday or that week was the 60th anniversary of the Black Panther movement, bitch. She was playing homage. That's part of our black history. And if it wasn't for the bullshit that was going on in this country back then and still now, that would not have needed to have an organization for the Black Panther to even come about. We wouldn't have needed it. If everything was all equal and all this, if we was getting fair our just dues back then, okay? Let's not look at the negative. Look at and go research what the fuck the Black Panther stood for and what they did. They damn near put up in there the fucking free lunch system, okay? They did and took care of their people when the white government and the other people was looking their nose down and doing all this crime, racism, and just desegregating everything. Okay, they was taking care of their people. That's why the fucking shit came about. Yeah, it was some militant shit going on too, but, you know, It is what it is. Okay, so calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. It is not all of that, all right? It really is not all that serious. It's no racism on that part. The only people crying racism are the racists, okay? That's what it feel like. Y'all the only one crying racism because I don't see it. And I can point out some shit, okay, just because she's doing this and she's, mentioning the Black Lives or whatever, because, hey, that's what it is. She want to put that out there. And what's wrong with putting a message in your song? Back in the 70s and the 60s and hell, even the 80s and the 90s, there were and have been always musicians putting messages in their songs, whether it's about politics or social stuff that's going on. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Then you want to get mad that a bitch talking all about sex and all about this, but then when the person puts something else, a message in the song behind it and whatever, now you want to get up in the uproar and call racism. Child, get the fuck out of here. Okay? Get out of here. Anyway, moving on from that. Is that 403? Let me write this down. Let me fix my hair. But the Formation Tour, mind you, okay, so off that bullshit, the Formation Tour came about. Pre-sales, I didn't know it was going to be different times and different pre-sales and different sale dates for different cities. But hell, mine was on February 9th, that Tuesday. And, bitch, I was searching. I said, girl, where the code at? Okay, it was like 6 something, 7 something. Where the code at, girl? Okay, around 8 something, I looked at my email. I had the code. By that time, everybody had already spread it. I was like, damn, Beyonce, you couldn't, first of all, you couldn't come up with something more intricate or whatever. Y'all know what the code was. I was just sitting here like, girl, really? Any, meeny, miny, mo. I ain't even had to stretch my brain that far to even think of the code. I was like, bitch, for real. I could have just, girl, what? Shut up. Like, come on. Anyway, so the time come and bitch, I tried. I was calling back like, okay, so when you open up your app on Ticketmaster so we can get this stuff together because we really wanted to go and I'm gonna have this browser open and I'm gonna make sure okay girl you got the pre yes okay all right fine cool we good next thing you know next thing you know I was like on Ticketmaster and I couldn't get nothing. I was like, oh my God. First of all, StubHub had already had some tickets available before the pre-sale started. I was like, how the fuck? I had got the email and everything. I seen a ticket price, no lie. I'm telling you. First of all, it's stadium tour. Okay, it is a stadium tour. All right. So if you went to the on the run tour, that's what it's gonna be, but in different cities or whatever. Child, I seen somebody, when these different outlet for, the where they sell tickets, they always set aside some some tickets and give it to the some secondary sites or whatever. That's what they do. So that's how StubHub got it so quickly. All right. But they set a price. But then you get people on there selling their own tickets and they sell them for more than what they brought and they get crazy with it. Okay, you got to be careful on these sites. Bitch, I was on there looking and I'm sitting here like, Ashley don't do nothing less than flow seats. Okay, I don't do level 100 and I'm not damn sure doing level 2 nor level 3. If you ever been in a stadium setting, you know that bitch, you ain't looking at nothing but the monitor. And if I can look at the monitor, I will wait until she put that shit on DVD or put it back on TV and watch that shit in my house, okay? If it ain't flow seats or nothing, and I mean floor seats in the very beginning, at the very top, okay? In the very front, I should say. I don't do flow seats in the back. I gotta go to the front. Yeah, I'm a picky bitch like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want to enjoy myself. I want to lose myself. And I want to see the person that I'm coming there to see, okay? You know? And somebody had level 100 because if you went to the stadium, the floor seats are the whole floor of like if the football field or whatever the fuck it is that you do, all of that is the floor seating, okay? Then the level 100 start in the back and going around and all that stuff. That's still very far. Somebody had up there $9,999 for those tickets. You're not even on the fucking floor. And no, it wasn't box tickets, bitch. I'm sitting here like, who gonna pay this? In what world? Not mine. I said, no, girl, you crazy. Y'all playing games. Y'all playing crackhead ass games on this bitch. Not me. But y'all can fall for that shit if you want to. But I was just over it. And then I didn't hear nothing from Bay. And I was just like, damn, okay, so fuck it. We're going to have to wait till me and Tamika. Tamika called me, text me up like, girl, did you get your ticket? Listen, we gonna have to wait until when they do general or Live Nation pre-sale. We're gonna have to do this shit together because I don't know. Like I was just like, oh, just depressed. I was sad. I was not sad, but I was just like over it. That's what it was. I was over it. Okay. And then all of a sudden I looked down at my phone and they was like, girl, I got the ticket. I was like, bitch, for real? She was like, yes. And I was looking at the tickets, I said, oh. Now, first she told me that they was like front row seat, VIP package front row. And I was like, oh, shit. But then I had to look at the thing again. And, bitch, we in the fucking pit. Beyonce better touch me, ho. And I'll be like, you see me, bitch. You see me. And I know you see my videos, bitch. You see me. No, let me stop playing. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm fine. It is what it is. It's a once in a lifetime experience because I have a feeling that Beyonce is either about to slow down after this tour. A bitch either this probably gonna be her last tour in a long time, or she's about to go get knocked up. That's what I feel like. That's why this shit is coming out of the blue like this, and she's just covering all her bases. And I have no problem with that. Bitch, you need to go get Blue Ivy your brother or something. Toodles, okay? Stop taking our motherfucking money because we dumb enough to give it to your ass. Anyway, moving on from that. Speaking of some more money, Ciara. Ciara is out here about to sue Future for $15 million. And baby, Ciara came with her receipts and everything about all the bullshit that Future been doing. Mostly because it's about him, for the past year or so. Putting it out there on Twitter and social media about her being, just fucking with her, talking bad about her and her parenting. And, they remember the little rants that he used to have and all that stuff. And, come to find out, she said that he ain't never paid child support or whatever. And it's harming her. It's making her look bad, and especially with her business and all this stuff. Now listen, I understand that, and I'm 100% here with Ciara for doing that stuff because you're not gonna continue to, talk ill of me because you don't see Ciara getting on Twitter doing no rants back or whatever. She let her people handle it, which is the mature thing to do, or let the court handle it, and that's exactly what she about to do. And then on Wendy Williams, okay, I don't like Wendy, all right, and I don't watch the show, but I seen the clip on the Shade Room when she said, well, Ciara, let's be honest, Future is not the reason why your music career is the way that it is. And I was like, that is 100% true. That is 100% true. He ain't the reason why you ain't selling the way that you selling, but I don't know the if that's what she was saying or whatever anything, but all I know is Future was being a fucking bitch, okay? And if Ciara wants to sue him instead of fighting it out and going down to his level of immaturity and putting up Instagram posts or putting up all these tweet rants or whatever, let her do that. I would rather her to go about it that way than all the way that he went about it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. So speaking of Super Bowl, everybody's coming down on Cam Newton. The Panthers lost. He was in his feelings, and they was doing this news press conference, and he got up and walked. Okay, and I understand that he was in his feelings, and he's upset, and I understood why he walked away. Okay, it was too soon or whatever. And who to tell you? Who are we to tell somebody how they should feel and how they should conduct themselves? But I also feel like Cam, they've been trying to get your ass for the longest, okay? They used every damn thing to come down on you, and you kind of gave them ammunition and fuel to the fire, to, talk and dog you out more in the press. And I just don't know. Like, it was what y'all have just sat there or what you have got up. Like, I don't feel either way about it, but I understand why he did it. But I also see the other side when people say, you need to mature enough to stay there and just sit there and not give them that fuel to, talk most shit about you. Because that's exactly what the fuck they doing. It's just, this climate is just disgusting. So, DMX was found unconscious at a New York hotel parking lot. I guess a cop or somebody found him. They performed, they say he ain't had no pulse. They performed CPR on him or whatever. And I guess he came back, regained consciousness and all that stuff. And people was trying to put it out there saying that it was drug overdose and all this stuff. And he said it wasn't no drug overdose. He just felt shortness of breath, and all of a sudden he just passed out. And that could happen, but I don't know the exact cause. If they put that out there, y'all put it down in the comments. I was like, child, I just don't. I said, no lie, I thought it was a drug overdose too. I thought it because it's DMX. It's let's not act like we didn't all think this. Okay, so moving on from that, Erica Dixon. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I guess they're about to start filming or they already filming. She's not coming back. Are we surprised? No. I mean, to be quite honest, since season one, probably around season three, at the end of season two, beginning of season three or whatever, Erica's roles kind of been, decreasing. After she brought that model O'Shea on there, it just like she just decreased to from being a regular cast member to being like a friend of the cast. That's what she was like, especially in the last season. Okay. So she didn't add nothing. She didn't, take away from nothing. And I mean, are we sad to see her go? I heard that Amber from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood got the boot too. And she claimed it's because of Milan. And I'm like, okay. And speaking of that bitch, didn't I tell y'all this shit was a fucking publicity stunt? Him and Moniece ain't fucking around, but they flirting and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, why would you put it out there like that if you are? All because you're trying to get attention and shit. I see what you're doing, all right? And you're trying to secure your spot. And then all of a sudden, you curse Miles out. And now you on Snapchat all hugged up with him and, he kissed all on your neck. And you like, I'm so confused, y'all. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay? Go somewhere. Kanye West, he's coming out with his album, I guess today, and it went through like 4 different titles. Okay, it went from something with this signal, this sign or whatever. Then it went to Swish. Then it went to Waves. Now it's the Life of Pablo. Okay, Kanye, whatever. So I have been watching um I know people been asking me, am I watching the OJ Simpson thing? I have not gotten to it. I have both episodes on my DVR and I will be watching them this weekend. And I've heard nothing but good things about it. I also been watching American Crime. Lord, did y'all see the last episode? They set that boy up to get beat up. Oh my God, I'm sitting here like, so they trying to get all the negative attention off the school, but you gonna take your ass over there and beat this boy up because your teammate's gay? Do y'all believe he got raped or was it? I mean, I don't know. You can set up a date and be flirting with somebody through text messages and all that stuff. And then when it's time to do the deed, you can say no. And if they still say they can still make you, but you can still say no. You can change your mind. And if they still try to force themselves on you, that's rape. Like, do you believe that he was raped or what? I don't know. That boy tried to kill himself, Eric. Uh, and Regina King character Terry, she came up into old boy's mama job and was like, "Your son is a whore. He wanted some sex, and now he wanna bring this down on my family and all this stuff." I said, "Who the hell, girl? If you don't get it, if you have not seen American Crime on ABC 7, child, y'all need to watch it." And speaking of ABC, tonight is the night that Shondaland comes back, okay? Grey's Anatomy, Meredith get her ass fucked up. Meredith always getting something wrong, like always something dramatic. The bitch always having a near-death experience every other season, okay? Um, Scandal coming back and how to fucking get away with murder. Child, ooh, ooh, ooh. I can't wait. And so another show that I looked at last night that came on, I'm not gonna be reviewing this because I'm gonna just talk about it in, this what it is video. The next 15 to come on TV1 on Wednesdays. at, I believe, 8 o'clock, my time. And it has Gloria Govan, Karamo Brown, I think that's his name, Claudia Jordan, Jennifer Williams, Benzino, and then of course Tiffany Pollard, okay, aka New York. And speaking of Tiffany, there will be starting tomorrow a I Love New York and a Favor of Love marathon coming on, because this weekend is Valentine's Day on Sunday. I will be watching it. We will be watching it, okay? But I don't like the show per se. I'm gonna give it another chance, but it's nothing worth me to sit here and to make an individual review about and to go in detail about. Claudia Jordan, I never really liked her at all. Never. Regardless of, I just never liked her, and it's been some years ago. But she has to go get her own show with Carlos King talking about the life of reality stars. People don't know what we go through, and I want to do a show that shows the real life of reality stars. And Carlos King sitting there, and he just won't have some camera time. Sometimes I feel like the directors need to stay behind. And the producers need to stay behind the screen. That's why you're a producer. That's why you're a director. Do not come in front. He wants his little TV shine, and that's what he was doing, and that's all that I was seeing. Because he's so extra. He annoys me so much. And he was like, so basically, I'm going to get all y'all together and do this TV show. Like, I was like, who wants a talk show from y'all? Okay, Claudia was thinking of people that she wants to do the talk show, and Karamo comes up, and I was just like, Karamo was annoying on the real world when he was on there. He's annoying still, okay? And then she didn't want Jennifer Williams. It was Carlos King who thought of her, and I was like, you being messy because you already know she feels some type of way because Jennifer supposedly was dating her ex or whatever, and that's one of the reasons why she don't like Jennifer. And I just want to look at it to see when Claudia was like, you called me a bitch again, and see what happened. Jennifer said, what you gonna do, bitch? And I said, you know what? This ain't the timid Jennifer Williams that we seen on Basketball Wives who used to follow Evelyn around, bitch. Hell no, she called that hoe a bitch. I want somebody to whoop her ass for real, for real. I just don't like her. But she's always been annoying to me. Always. It's like she's always tried too hard. Ugh. But I don't know. Who else? And next thing you know, I don't know who thought of Benzino, but the parent of all these people, it's just so awkward and so weird and all this stuff. The focus group, them people in that focus group was reading the fuck out of them, okay? And then, they get in their feelings, and I'm sitting here like it's a focus group. That's what happens. They want to give their opinions. And the truth be told, none of you guys are really all that likable or, taking time out that somebody would actually want to take an hour out their day and to sit and watch you guys on a talk show. Who are you guys actually that will make us want to do that? Nobody. It's like a whole bunch of irrelevant people coming in together. First of all, I didn't know. The only thing that I found shocking about the whole thing was I didn't know Karamo had a son. Okay, and not just a son, a teenage son, like he 18 years old. I said, well, damn. Okay, and because Karamo still look like he's 20. Okay, I give him that. He got some good skin, but he's just very annoying. He's one of those annoying ass gays that just. And they was throwing so much shade at Jennifer, and it was just irking me. I'm like, ugh. And when Jennifer sat down with Al Reynolds, Jennifer was like, people put out there that he gay. I mean, he my friend, but I really don't know if he gay or not. Child, he gay, at least bisexual. He done tried something, okay? Because he was sitting there booty toothed and everything. I said, I see you in that bubble. He was kind of cute looking too. I said, all right, you better do it for the kids, Al. But the main reason why we all watching the show is for Tiffany fucking Pollard, aka New York. Bitch, when she came up in there, she was talking about her, talking to her publicist and, oh, look at my lace front. It was this, it was that. And I said, girl, no, it's not. No, it's not. I love your ass, but that shit was not the business. Okay? And, they were supposed to come together and everybody's supposed to meet at that little focus group or whatever, and they all knew that Carlos had something up his sleeve because it was another seat. And then next thing you know, New York comes in. But before that, she wanted to come in this black and white dress, but they didn't have they said it was gonna clash with, I guess, the camera or whatever. So she put up a fuss about not wanting to change. And she went on ahead and changed to this black dress, this black lace dress or whatever. And she walked up in there and she was like, New York is in the motherfucking building. I said, yes, bitch, liven this shit up. Because I was bored with it, to be quite honest. I was bored with it. I don't know what I was expecting, and I don't know who asked for this show. I honestly don't. And then New York is going to be in another show coming up, I think, later on this month or next month on VH1, I believe, with the lady that do couples therapy. They doing family therapy. And her and her mama gonna be on there. Did you see that clip when the mama was slapping the shit out of her? I was like, so you just be slapping people, huh? And Mama Patterson was like, okay, and I was like, that's no school mama right there. They just don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. I will slap the taste out your mouth every time I feel like it. I was sitting here like, New York, you gonna let her put her hands on you like that? That's the show that gonna have Damon Dash and his brothers on there too. And Lindsay Lohan parents. Child, I'ma watch it. I don't usually watch couple therapy, but I'm gonna watch that one. But that's it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy y'all holidays. And rest of the week if you gotta work tomorrow. Be safe, bundle up because it has been cold out here in these streets. Yeah, and take care of yourself for real, for real. And I will see you guys later. Peace. Are we watching the Grammys? Are we pause? Let me put that in there. Are we watching the Grammys Monday? I really don't give a shit. I don't care. Like nothing. I mean, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Okay? Just let me know.